when I worked at the hospital, I used to look at the information about patients, and I used to be terrified about what would happen when social justice came to medicine. That deeply concerned me. And I remember there was one training. You do continuing educations at the hospital. If you work in literally any field, you're going to be constantly updating your knowledge for what's new. And one of the continuing educations that we had was about obese patients. And I don't remember what was said exactly, but it was very much social justice, body positivity, healthy at every size. And I was like, I don't think that's the right way to deal with heavy patients. I mean, people might call me cold and heartless for thinking that, but there is a very important thing to keep in mind, and something that I noticed when I was about 10. I noticed that feminism pushed for body positivity. And I thought, why are they doing this? Because this literally means that women are going to die younger. If you care about women, if you are actually for women's rights and women doing well in the world and making their best selves, then you need to encourage them to be healthy size. Not bulimic, not anorexic, but healthy. Maybe well padded, that's fine. Although
padded.
Admittedly, Americans don't really know what overweight looks like. Right now, I'm overweight. I'm probably about 20 pounds heavier than I should be, but I'm okay with this. I don't even mind because my round face is not who I actually am, and it can change over the course of a few months, so I'm not too worried about it. I do want to be healthy, though. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus on what I'm eating. I'm going to focus on what I'm doing and see if I can fix this. Plus, then you have that sense of accomplishment. I lost and I maintained weight loss. I actually lost about 50 pounds and maintained it off for 5 years until they put me back on steroids.
Oh, man.
Awesome. It's like a blimp. That's good times. But I really do believe that we can't talk about issues like weight, and it's literally actually killing us because we care more about feelings.
Oh yeah, I would be lying if I say I'm not getting a little bit more of a podcast body than I would like, but like I have a plan. I have like I'm at the outer edge of like what I'm okay with. It's like okay, because if it gets more than this, I have to start buying a different size, and you just don't feel good in your own skin. But like it's also that's kind of an indication like things have been going really well. I'm busier, and it's I just have to make more time to move around. But I see what you're saying about, because I noticed the body positivity movement beginning as well. And I was like, well, if you're somebody who believes in maybe the state wanting to take over, and I had a conversation with Jack Murphy about this, like if the state wants to be your daddy and they are fixated on telling you how toxic masculinity is and encouraging women to leave their marriages, and we look at how many single moms there are. So it's like you have the powers that be that want men kind of weakened and separated. Could these be the same powers that be that maybe want women to ignore being overweight and unhealthy, right? Which might lead them to die sooner, which might leave a bunch of kids available to be scooped up.
Children. Yep. That's actually interesting. That's taking it a little farther than I thought through, but I think you might be right. And one of the things that I've been observing, kind of a commonality between all the different things that are going on right now, is that I feel like we're being systematically weakened. And I'm not sure if it's by China or if it's by our own doing, or possibly a little bit of both. Maybe this is a weakness that China saw and they descended in and they're like, oh, here's our chance. This is our biggest competitor. We're going to find a way to undercut them. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to do information wars. We're going to tell them that men are bad. We're going to tell them that men should be more like women. We're going to tell women that they should be more like men, which has always offended me. I don't want to be a second-rate man. I want to be a strong woman. You know?
I don't know how to work a remote control.
Yes, exactly.
Don't want to know.
Exactly. I'm going to leave that for the man. Like I tried to assemble all this stuff before my husband came back, and it's all like falling apart. And I was like, that's your job. I'm going to have you do that now that you're back. And he's definitely laughed at some of my projects, but I don't care. I did them on my own. But I was like, no, I'm not a man. I'm not going to do man stuff. And you're not going to tell me that that's what I should do, because I can tell I like being a woman. And I can tell that that's what I'm better at doing than at trying to be a guy. And the fact that they're trying to make men more like women and women more like men is such a sign to me that something is wrong. Like, why are we doing that? Seriously, there's no benefit to either gender by doing that. The most beautiful thing in the world is a male and a female couple in partnership who are doing what they're supposed to do. And you'll know when you see them because it's very uplifting. And it's like they know exactly what they're supposed to do. And they're pulling their weight. And their kids are benefiting. And the world around them is benefiting from it. That's becoming really rare. But I think that if we could kind of incentivize people to do that, make them realize it's a good thing. I don't know if millennials now think that being in like a married relationship is boring. But it's not. It's very fulfilling and it's very challenging, and it forces you to make sacrifices that you wouldn't otherwise. I don't have kids yet, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there, most likely. But that's a whole other set of sacrifices you have to make. And it's like, if you want to be a good person, you need to not constantly be putting yourself first. I do think that's a form of awakening.